So today we have a really, juicy Ask Allison. I feel like it brings up a lot of good stuff for people to think about. So here it is. I work mostly with parents of children and teens providing short-term parenting consultation. I used to work in a school and I'd like to have my practice calendar reflect the school year calendar, meaning I'd be closed during winter break, spring break, and most of summer breaks. I'm fine with this financially, but my question is more from the policy, practice, ethics perspective. What are some things I need to consider in terms of screening clients, given that I have a practice with such limited availability? And how do I make sure I'm not setting myself up for perceived or real client abandonment? I don't take insurance if that matters here. Honestly, I don't want to be available for anything during those closed times. I can't just refer people to another therapist easily, as basically everyone who sees kids has a wait list. I feel a lot of shame around this, but I don't want to have my phone on me throughout the day when I'm not technically working, just in case. So first, I'd like to thank TherapyNotes for sponsoring us today. I love this question because I want to emphasize for everybody watching and to underscore what this person has kind of come to is that your practice really needs to work for you. It needs to be sustainable if you're going to do this for the long haul. And this person who wrote is totally creating that for themselves. So you talk about doing short-term parent consultation. To me, that sounds like you know about how many sessions your people are usually there for. So my mind goes to a few different places. One is that in your final session with people before the longer breaks, I'm not worried about spring break because a lot of us take that off. Winter break, depending on how long it is for you, I know here it feels like 4 years, but that might also be because I need to come and see you. But if it's like 3 or 4 weeks, it might be worth considering that when I'm talking about longer breaks, I'm going to be talking about winter and summer. So consider handing somebody a printout of something that's also on your website. It could just be like your URL/help, and it's not visible on your website to everybody who goes there. Like it's not going to be on your menu. But your clients that you've worked with will have it. And you can have referrals there. You can have resources. Like if there's a book that you love, you could do a little 2-sentence, this book is going to be great for parents struggling with X. Here with therapists I recommend who may be on a wait list, so get in touch early if you want to. But to print it out and hand it to them in the final meeting with them before the long breaks, and also to have it on your website at any time. You might also consider doing some time-limited groups or workshops that have a clear end date. You could also frame these breaks as time for them to practice these skills, like extended time to practice these skills that they've been honing with you. If it's manualized or predictable schedule that you're working with folks, consider that timeline before the longer break. So if most of your clients are with you for 6 sessions, say, then 6 weeks out, you need to be very clear about whether or not it's appropriate to take on this parent, depending on what they're presenting with, and being very, very clear with them that you are off and not accessible for this period of time before they book that initial appointment with you. And to let them know, on average, my clients stay with me this number of sessions, which is the number of sessions we have left, and I will give you referrals. But to be very clear, to be clear in your informed consent as well. Whether or not you take insurance does matter here, because if you did take insurance, you would technically need to be kind of on call during all these times for most of the contracts. I'm not going to speak for all insurance contracts because I clearly haven't read them all. Yeah, I just think with enough client preparation and letting them know ahead of time, like the first time they call you, how it is that you work, making sure it's clear in your consents, I think you're fine. And I think it's great that you're considering what you need for your life, for your time with your family or friends or dog or whomever, or just yourself in a great book. We all, part of our work, I hope, is we're all getting to know ourselves better as time goes by. And sometimes that means knowing when to say when with things like work or tasks or things like that. And I hear you honoring that and wanting to make this business work around your life, which I totally admire. So if anybody else needs help with the particulars of setting up the practice that works for them and their clients, because this could also speed up some of the process, with your clients because they know it's time limited, so they might kind of put the pedal to the metal a little more. But if anybody else needs help with that, come and join us in the Abundance Party. You can check that out at abundanceparty.com. We have courses focused on exactly how to set these things up in a way that really truly works for you and how to get those clients in the door. If you have questions for me for Ask Allison, you can send that to ask@abundancepracticebuilding.com. Thanks so much.